My brother's bride was a high school bully. Am I overreacting? On Sunday, I 19F learned on a Zoom call with my family that my brother, Harry 22M, has just gotten engaged to his girlfriend, Jessica 20F. When Harry told us, everyone but me was pretty enthusiastic, but I just kind of sighed and said nothing. Harry didn't display any reaction towards my admittedly lukewarm reaction, but afterwards, my mom called me and told me that I was rude for not being excited. She said that I need to respect all members of the family, including Jessica, and that I need to reconsider my behavior if I want to be invited to our vacation in the spring. Harry and I were really close growing up. Since he, and then I, started college, we've been less close, but he and I still talk every week or two. Harry and Jessica have been together for around 2 years now. Here's where it gets complicated. I knew Jessica back in high school, and she was not what you would call a kind soul. She had a particularly nasty streak. She would not pay attention during class and always tried to cheat on people's homework, and I assume got away with it. She tried, semi-successfully, to steal my boyfriend. She bullied one of my best friends, calling her fat, among other things. This bullying worsened, if not caused altogether, her eating disorder, and it's something I've never been able to forgive or forget. She is just one of those people who would just mess around with other people's lives like it's a game, not something she is invested in. About 6 months ago, I had a heart-to-heart with Harry about Jessica. I laid out my concerns and the history of her behavior, hoping it might make him reconsider or at least think deeply about their relationship. He said he'd consider what I said, but he didn't continue the conversation much. Since then, we have talked regularly as usual, and things seem normal between us. He didn't talk about Jessica often, but he didn't hide their relationship either. I was really happy. It sounded like it might be dying off. I had no idea he was getting engaged to her until he announced it. I don't know if he has been telling other people in the family besides me, or if it was really just an abrupt decision. To make it worse, I am worried that he told Jessica about our conversation 6 months ago. In her announcement on Facebook, an annoying ring-on-hand photograph in tow, she wrote something like, "I know not everyone in our family is supportive, but we have each other, and that's what matters." So, he ignored my warning, and he told her all about it. Part of me wonders if I should just swallow my feelings for the sake of family harmony, but another part of me feels like I'd be betraying my old friend, my own values, and my brother by pretending to be happy about this engagement. And I am bad at holding back my truth. I'm really not in a position to go out of contact with my family, and I still do want them in my life. While I might not have been the a-hole immediately, I would become one if I kept pushing too hard against my brother's relationship. And I really don't want Harry to think I don't support him or do not talk to me about personal relationship matters. So, I pretty much decided to keep quiet and just go along with whatever Harry wanted. On Tuesday, he messaged me, asking if I wanted to be a bridesmaid in Jessica's wedding party or a groomsmaid in his wedding party. After a little bit of back and forth, it became clear that he asked me because he knew I wasn't totally keen on Jessica but still wanted me involved with the wedding. I was trying to be supportive, so I said it would be great to get to know Jessica better by being a bridesmaid, though I wasn't exactly looking forward to the experience. I admit, though, that I had a little bit of an ulterior motive. From what I know of Jessica, she completely changes how she acts based on who she is around, which is how she manipulated Harry into proposing, of course. I thought that, just maybe, if I could show Harry how Jessica acts with her girls, he might reconsider his decision to marry her. Anyway, on Thursday I got added to a Facebook Messenger chat named Brilliant Bridal Bitches, wherein Jessica laid out her ground rules for being in the bridal party. They are almost verbatim. Participation in my bridal party is not just an honor, it's an investment. Be prepared to spend at least $1,000 on attire and accessories alone. I can make exceptions, but only if you ask me. I alone will dictate the narrative of my wedding on social media. Any premature posts, especially unflattering photos of me, will result in immediate expulsion. Your weight will be monitored weekly. Anyone not fitting into their dress will be kindly asked to step down. This wedding will look picture perfect, and I can't have you ruining the aesthetics. From now until the wedding, I expect you to be on call 24/7. Wedding emergencies are real, and your commitment to solving them will be a true test of your friendship. You will fund and organize a lavish bachelorette party in my honor. Think exotic destinations, luxury accommodations, and Instagram-worthy moments. You will have fun, not just for your sake, but for mine as well. Upon reading this, I just burst out laughing. Screenshot. Click. I think I might be able to convince Harry to stop marrying Jessica after all. I'm just deciding now if I should play it cool and act like the rules are normal but bring it up with Harry. Or maybe show my mother because I know it would make her flip. and almost certainly forgive me for sighing when Harry told us about the engagement. A lot of people were suggesting that I should be tricky and go to my mother and ask to borrow money to make the appropriate investment for being at Jessica's bridal party. I thought about that but realized it would be a little bit too over the top. So, instead, I just sent a screenshot of Jessica's rules and a couple other insane things she posted in the group chat to Harry and asked for his advice, telling him, I know I said that I wanted to join the bridal party to get to know Jessica better, but I'm worried it might not actually be good for me. Do you think I could bail and join your party instead? He called me instead of texting back and definitely sounded pretty surprised by what I showed him. I'm certain that the side of Jessica shown in those rules and other messages, including a new one saying that if your BMI is over 22, you are out of the wedding. In the group chat is not the side of herself that she showed to him. We had a good hour or so of conversation about what things were like between the two of them, and I learned a lot about where he was coming from. From what he told me, it sounds like getting married was really Jessica's idea. She had been going through some tough times later and apparently has struggled with depression in recent years. She's always wanted this perfect wedding and perfect married life, and she told him that it would make her feel better and fix all her issues if he proposed. So, Harry, being the good person that he is, did it. He took pity on her, even though he didn't really feel ready yet. He says he doesn't regret it, though. She has been so much happier since the proposal, he said, and he is no longer worried about her running away, harming herself, or worse. That said, he said he was still shocked by what she posted to her girls and said he didn't know what to do next. I told him I was worried about him and his future if he stayed with Jessica and went through with the marriage. He thanked me and hung up. He still sounded pretty shaken. The next day, he asks me to call him, so I do that. He explained to me that everything was okay, and he talked to Jessica about the whole situation. She told him it was just a joke and the kind of thing her friends are used to sending in their messages. Apparently she apologized and said that it was her fault for not making sure I was on her level. I'm pretty skeptical of that, though. She seemed serious to me. She also seemed serious when she messaged me privately. You are on thin ice. She also sent another message in the main group chat saying, this is all of your reminder that I need your full support, and any undermining of my wedding will have serious consequences. So, that's where things stand. I told Harry that I don't really believe it was a joke, and I believe that Jessica is trying to control him just like she's trying to control her bridesmaids. He just said that he is in a difficult situation, she is stressed out, and he trusts her. So that's where things stand. Apparently, I am still at the darn bridal party. Dress stuff is happening in the next week or two. I really thought Harry would get to his senses, but apparently not yet. Now I need to decide what the heck to do next.
Best friend tries to destroy my marriage by constantly reminding me of my ex. My 29M best friend Jess 29F keeps on mentioning my ex 29F in front of my fiancé, and I am thinking of cutting her off. I want to know if I am overreacting or if Jess is in the wrong. For context, Jess and I went to the same high school and the same college. We were friends in high school. However, since we both went to the same out-of-state college, we have become best friends since then. We have always been there for each other during the best and worst times. However, things have always been platonic, and she is more like a big sister to me, who makes sure I stay on the right track. I have only been in 2 long-term relationships so far. One was with my ex-girlfriend Lisa for 7 years. We met in college and dated all through our college years. Lisa and Jess also became good friends, too. After college, Lisa and I just grew apart and had different goals in life. I became boring after college as I was working on my PhD while doing a full-time job. Lisa broke up with me because she wanted to party on weekends while I was home studying. I was heartbroken, but I don't think I ever blamed her or had resentment towards her, as I understood my decisions were selfish and should not hold her back from having the best life. Jess always stood by me and comforted me during that time. Jess and Lisa were good friends, and Jess always kept on telling me that Lisa loves me and will be back one day when I am ready. I foolishly held on to that hope and stayed friends with Lisa. That was until I met my fiancé, Yang. After I finished my PhD, I got a nice job at a big tech company. Yang joined our team a year after me. We started going out for drinks and dinner, and we started dating seriously pretty soon. We are happy together and financially in a great place. Needless to say, I stopped talking to Lisa after I started dating Yang. I proposed to Yang a year after we started dating and got engaged last year. Jess has been acting weirdly since we got engaged. One of the first things she said to Yang after we got engaged was how I had planned the same thing for Lisa, proposing on a local hiking trail. It was a bit off-putting that she was bringing up Lisa, whom I broke up with almost 5 years ago, on such a happy occasion. However, Yang asked me not to spoil my mood, as she felt Jess was just commenting on how I had that plan in mind for years. Since then, Every time we meet, Jess, without fail, brings up Lisa and how the things I am doing are all the things I had planned with Lisa. This happened when we bought a house, planned for vacations, etc. Jess always starts with some nostalgic story and then brings up how Lisa and I were so happy together. She is still good friends with Lisa and keeps giving me updates about Lisa and how great she is doing at work when no one is asking for it. It felt like she was painting a rosy picture of Lisa for Yang and telling Yang that she would always be second to Lisa. Yang told me Jess's comments bothered her, and I also felt the same. I have brought this up with Jess many times and asked her not to do it. However, she says she will try, but since I dated Lisa for 7 years, she would be part of many stories from the past. Also, she asked me why talking about Lisa bothers me and if I still have feelings for her. I have reduced hanging out with Jess. However, she is close with my mom and is always invited to all our family parties and holidays. I talked to my mom and sister about this, and they feel I am overreacting. They feel Jess is just telling stories since the stories are mostly from college days, and later, Lisa will be a character in the story. They also feel I should not be bothered by Jess mentioning Lisa since we broke up a long time ago. I feel that it's disrespectful to Yang, as she doesn't need to hear about all the fun Lisa and I had when we were together and how we were planning to get married. Do you think I'm bad to stop here, or is Jess truly acting out of line?
I canceled my wedding after discovering the true nature of my fiancé. For background context, I was married when I was 22, and my husband was 25. He had a daughter, who was 2 when we married. I consider her my daughter in every way. My husband passed away sadly when she was 4, so I 34F have been with my fiancé Jessie 35M for 8 years. My daughter Bailey is 14F. She considers Jessie to be her father. Jessie has never treated Bailey wrong at all. But I knew of my husband, who had passed away. Jessie has always treated her sweetly and like a daughter. I'm currently 6 months pregnant. We are all excited. Jessie has told me how he wants to adopt Bailey after getting married. To surprise her, we are getting married in August. I wouldn't say we are close to being done with everything, but we did plan a big dinner, and I did invite my friends and Jessie's friends. Bailey was staying the night over at a close friend's house, so Bailey wasn't there. We were all catching up and having a great night. Just all around happiness from everyone. The topic of the wedding came up. That is when things went downhill. It was all good. We got to talking about our honeymoon. We were going to bring Bailey, because that was our plan. Jessie did say he didn't want to bring Bailey, which kind of shocked me. We both agreed to it, so I was taken aback by it. He started going on about how now we both have a real child and we don't have to pretend anymore to take care of my stepdaughter, who was never my real child. At this point, all our friends and I were very flabbergasted and looked at him like he had something crazy on top of his head. He kept going on and on, until I kind of freaked out in front of everyone and told him that Bailey would always come first and that he was last to me now. He had to leave, and I'm canceling the wedding. He tried talking to me, but I was not in shape to hear him. His friends did escort him out from me and leave with him. A few of my girlfriends stayed with me that night. Jessie had been blowing up my phone so much, wanting to work things out. I honestly don't ever want to. I haven't told Bailey what happened and just lied to my family and his family about why we canceled the wedding. I just want some quiet now, not for anyone to be upset. But some of his friends did message me, saying he has the right to talk about his feelings and opinions, which got me so puzzled at this point. I talked to Bailey much earlier and told her everything. She was shocked and cried. It broke my heart to see her that way. We just hugged each other. She said if she had only been a better daughter, he would not have felt that way. I reassured her that wasn't the case at all, that Jessie was just an awful man and a coward. Bailey said she forgave him but would never forget what he said. She still misses him and still calls him dad. Even after everything he put her through, she's a brave young girl. I am making sure that Jessie doesn't ever get in contact with Bailey. He did, however, ask if we could talk in person, to at least mend things. I did agree and met him the next day after the whole incident. We met in a public spot with others around, in case he tried doing something funny. Jessie told me how sorry he was and that he loves Bailey and our baby the same. He still wants to marry me. He wants to come home. All I saw was lies. I knew he was lying. I told Jessie that I would never look at him the same way. I will only get in contact with him after I give birth to our daughter. Jessie did beg me over and over. I stood my ground and said no to each of his pleading demands. Then he dropped a big thing on me, which I never knew. He said that he cheated, and the woman is better in every way. To add sugar on top of the shit he dropped on me, he is cheating with his best friend Carter's wife, who has 3 kids. Yes, this is one of the friends who defended him. He was sleeping with his wife. She was also at the dinner party. Was always nice to me when she was sleeping with my fiancé. Not only did Jessie and that vile woman destroy a family, they destroyed 2 with kids. What a lovely, great man. I did leave after he told me that. I blocked him everywhere. I messaged Carter and told him that Jesse was sleeping with his wife. He did tell me he was suspicious of his wife sneaking around. It wasn't her first time. I feel really awful now for him. He did apologize for not being on my side, and we were always great friends. I did forgive him and didn't blame him for defending his best friend. Because both Carter and Jesse have been best friends since elementary school. I told him I'd be there for him. For support, he appreciated my offer. He told me he would be there for me as well. Carter told their friend group that he had blocked Jesse. He is going to divorce his wife, so we have each other to lean on for support. I also asked Bailey if she wanted a therapist. She said yes, and I am looking for one. She has been staying in her room more, only coming out for food or to use the restroom. It breaks my heart, because she is always so bright and jolly. Now she's just depressed and feeling low. Her close friends have been coming over and staying with her. My family plans on coming. Don't worry, I did tell Jesse's family and my family everything. Both families are awfully mad at Jesse. I plan on staying in contact with Jesse's family. I have always been so close to them. They helped raise Bailey, and they see us as family. I also can't forget that I am carrying Jesse's daughter. Jesse's parents want to see Bailey, as she is their granddaughter. I even plan on changing the locks. I don't feel safe with just Bailey and me. Even if we do have a few big dogs and lots of goats, my best friend, Rosie, is staying with me. So we have a lot of support on our side. I will not get an abortion, and I am going to keep my child. I'm far along, and I am blessed for my daughter. I can co-parent with Jesse,